But this was the match it needed to be. This is the match it should have been, and I'm so fucking glad this is the match it was, because this was beautiful, brilliant, romantic pro wrestling when it was all said and done. I can't say enough about what those guys did tonight.
Yeah, and it really was the end of an era as much as it was the end of Hiroshi Tanahashi's career. And I also think it's fitting that he was the last sort of domino to fall from that era. I think that's appropriate too. They all left one by one, starting in what 2016? Was that when Nakamura and AJ, that would have been 16, right? It doesn't matter. The point is, those were the first two to fall, and then slowly but surely, expedited by the emergence of AEW, and they were all gone. And Tanahashi was the last one standing, and tonight he's gone, and now they're all gone, and that era is now officially closed. It's officially behind us. It's officially behind New Japan. And what a wonderful, wonderful ceremony it was. You have all of his former rivals and people he shared the locker room with, and people like Muto and Fujinami, and it seemed like a roll call of the AEW roster.
There was a while there where I was like, can we get somebody that's not a current AEW roster member to come out? And luckily, Keiji Muto broke that up finally.
Yeah. And, the whole thing was just sweet. And the whole thing was just really captured the spirit of Hiroshi Tanahashi, because deep down, he's always been kind of a goofball. And we knew we'd have to get some air guitar. And for people who were confused or baffled or didn't understand that, it really separates those of us who watched every 2011 World Tag League show to the end and those of us who didn't. When he would basically end every show with the silly air guitar bit. But when you had those shows on your hard drive from Mega Upload, there was something about it where you would watch those air guitar sessions to the end anyway.
You cherished every second. You cherished every second that you got of watching wrestling.
Take your eyes off
Japan.
of them. I mean, you just, it's like, oh, he's going to do the air guitar. This is stupid. And then you find yourself watching it until the end anyway, because it's Tanahashi and he's a big goofball, and he was a big goofball tonight. And then he's riding around on the Pope Mobile, doing a lap around the Tokyo Dome. And the deal where he's wiping the sweat on people's towels. And that's just, classic Tanahashi, and it's who he is. And the whole thing was just amazing and sweet. And it's one of the best pro wrestling retirements I've ever seen. And forgive me if this is not the time or place either, but I've always been irreverent. And it's something else that I think is the spirit of the show that we do. But when you compare this to what we saw with John Cena a few weeks ago, it really is astounding to me just how bad WWE truly sucks, and what a soulless, vapid, fake moment creating bullshit fucking company that is, where even someone like John Cena, they blow it. And they're a promotion that talks about telling stories. They're a promotion that talks about creating moments and has no idea how to really do either with any kind of soul, heart, or authenticity. And when you watch something like tonight, it's just a neon glowing sign that that's the truth, because this was how it should have been for John Cena. This is how it should have been even for Goldberg. And that one was botched even worse. And, it just really separates the professional wrestling promotions that do have a heart and a soul. When you watch how Tanahashi goes out, when you watch how Sting goes out, and then you compare to how, somebody like John Cena, who deserved better, went out with his company. So that's some of the things I was thinking about when I watched this. It really was, it had a lot of heart. It had a lot of heart.
This was a perfect way to send this guy off. And it's exactly the way that Tanahashi should be sent off. And it's exactly the way that one of your company's all-time greats should be sent away. And that's, 40, 50, 60 minutes, however long it takes. Who cares? It's Hiroshi Tanahashi. That guy has given you countless hours, years, decades of his life for this ring and for that company. Give him as long as he wants and do whatever he wants. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is exactly the way it should be. Let the fans soak it in. Let him soak it in. Let his colleagues soak it in. Let everybody soak it in. And it again, to make that comparison to the Cena retirement, which we have to because it just happened, and really these guys are perfect parallels to each other. I mean, it very, very rarely do you get two guys retiring of this stature in the companies they were. And Tanahashi to New Japan is what Cena is to WWE. I mean, that is an all-time Mount Rushmore, tippy top guy in WWE, and compare how his retirement run, his retirement year. I still say, and I want this to be talked about more, and it's not going to be, and it annoys me every day that it's not. There is not enough made about how much WWE botched that entire year of John Cena. Not just the final, which they did. That was horrible and stupid and didn't have any of the symbolism that it should have had. Even if the match was good, it's just everything it was bad. He just didn't get the ceremony, didn't get the pomp, didn't get the circumstance, did not get the recognition that he probably deserves in that company. But the entire year was an absolute disaster, and I don't think enough people are talking about it. And again, I know why they won't, and I know it just won't happen because we're just not built like that anymore in today's wrestling discourse, and people just don't do this anymore because it's just we move on to the next thing. Cry emoji, yada yada is him, whatever. It's just bullshit tweets that we can then, bullshit aggregations and tweets that we can just move on to the next day. But not enough. Tanahashi's year was perfect. It was perfect because the guy got in there. He wrestled against everybody that he wanted to wrestle against. He went to every company he wanted to wrestle with. He got send-offs. He got a great send-off in America that I was very lucky to be there live for. I'm so glad I was. And he got to wrestle a ton of singles matches, got to do a G1, got to do all this sort of stuff. We talked about the business-wise. It didn't quite land business-wise until the final stretch when people said, okay, this is really it. This is really this next month or whatever. Because it did start to, that last month, those last few Korakuens, obviously this Tokyo Dome, that's when people said, okay, fine, this is really the last time I have to watch this guy, so I better make it count. And it's just, it was just such a great year for a guy who went out working his ass off. And that's the perfect way for Tanahashi to go out. And they didn't get too cute with it. They didn't say, oh, we need Tanahashi to turn heel. None of that stuff. No, he just went out there. He wrestled his ass off for a year. And then he faced off with his career rival in the final match of his career. They went out there and they put together a fucking phenomenal performance. And really, the defining thing here with Tanahashi is he got the old Okada back. We'll talk about the match here in a little bit. But I just thought the symbolism of Okada doing the Rainmaker pose and hitting a classic Rainmaker and going for that 1-2-3 and just pinning Tanahashi in the middle of that ring was just a perfect way to cap it off. And then obviously, the pomp and the circumstance that happened after. But it's just night and day. And we have someone in the chat room that says night and day. You almost need you need something bigger of a comparison because it's not even night and day isn't even close to just how perfect this Tanahashi thing was and just how fucking horrible the Cena thing was from beginning to end. And it's just it's dumbfounding, but I'm so glad that we got this moment with Tanahashi. And I wouldn't have changed a thing. I would have changed absolutely nothing about what happened tonight.